Bro, if this is the entry-level quality performance of IEMs nowadays, we may have a problem. Okay, we have a problem, but ultimately, it's a great problem to have. Today I'm reviewing the Simgot EA500LM, a beautiful IEM, one that I've been itching to get a chance to actually review and make time to record this. You alright, dude? Relax, you'll be alright. But the EA500LM features a single dual magnetic circuit and a dual cavity driver. It sits in the budget realm, coming in at about $89 price, but after spending some time with it, I really think this is one of those IEMs that kind of over-deliver on its value. It's one of the later updates in technology from Simgot, and it's the new generation of their previous EA500. Simgot, which I hope I'm saying correctly, I'm not quite sure, has built a pretty solid reputation in the audio space, and I'm excited to talk about it because I'm actually extremely impressed. Taking a look at the box, we step away from the usual waifu-centric packaging featured in the majority of the latest hi-fi IEMs, and it features some holographic kind of hippie-esque designs. The IEMs themselves look very shiny and look the part of a very high-end shiny finish that you might find on products well above its price range. With a price tag of about $89, you get the IEMs, a cable, a few silicone ear tips, and some swappable nozzles that shape the tuning a bit. Again, the EA500LM showcase a beautiful face and finish, and some branding. They're 2-pin connected, so you'll have no problems with cable compatibility either. Speaking of which, the cable is an impressive golden and black, and the port where the 2-pin inserts clicks in. And to be honest, I have zero worries of them popping off. I've seen far looser connections in $450 IEMs for real. In terms of the silicone ear tips, they're very flimsy. I don't know exactly what they're going for, but they don't feel sturdy at all. Surprisingly enough though, it doesn't really impact the sound quality in that much of a negative way. Speaking of sound quality, when I begin to describe the EA500LM, I tend to feel the word detail continue to jump out at me. I'm not so sure I would go so far as to say that it's a bass headset since it feels much closer to a neutral monitor, but the drivers are powerful and perform exceptionally well. I can't help but compare them to the Arias because of the pricing, but dude, these are like the Arias and Katos on steroids. And the general consensus at this point is that it also outshines the Aria 2. Another thing that I noticed is that it's very spatial and three-dimensional. The soundstage is impressive, bro. Like, reverb really opens up when listening in comparison to like my Manger T2s. There's no question about it, these are hi-fi. The vocals sit pretty central in the mix as opposed to on top, with no bloatiness or harshness. I love that it feels like male vocals don't have like too much low mid, it really brings out the clarity in it if you ask me. I will say this though, during hip hop songs at higher volumes, trebles can get a little bit piercing, but the problem is that it's still pretty enjoyable. But I just know that it's more than likely not too healthy to strain my ears in such ways, but hey, here I am. But that being said, it does still depend on the songs that you listen to and the way that the actual engineers and mix and master engineers actually mixed and mastered the song too, So me personally, I wouldn't chalk that up as a con for this at all. One of the most impressive things I've experienced with the Simgot EA500LMs is listening to older songs, noticing a wider feeling and more depth in some audio mixes that I didn't notice before. Even in some of my own music. I'd play it back and be like, my original mix did not sound like this, but it sounds better. I've heard a ton of mid-tier, budget tier, and impressive IEMs in the last couple years. I'm talking 3 years ago, 2 years ago, etc. But these IEMs of today are built different, man. This is easily one of the best IEMs I've heard in my own 2 years. Now, always take claims like that with a grain of salt given the preference-driven nature of this hobby. But even with an objective perspective, that's kind of like a bar. I'd seriously question someone's ear if they were to tell you that these things do not sound good. You know how like often in music you can hear that the vocals have been evidently compressed with a quick attack or digitally warmed? The openness and clarity of the top end on a couple records that I listened to actually felt closer to what it would sound like if you were in the room with the vocalist. I imagine the representation is something closer to what the original mixing engineer intended. Simgot EA500LMs are somewhat redefining my understanding of what hi-fi, chi-fi IEMs can sound like under $300, $200, and even where this thing actually sits, under $100. You can really save a lot of money and get a lot of bang for your buck these days. So now you understand what I think of the sound performance. But if I did have to reach into a bag of straws and pull something out that I was disappointed in, it would be tough, but I think the fact that it's only an option for 3.5mm jack is a bit unfortunate. But we still have adapters at the end of the day. The ear tips also don't scream premium by any means, but for these to still sound the way that they do using these tips, maybe they work just as they're supposed to. And comfort wise, they feel nice and snug. I haven't felt any kind of like fatigue in my ear canal or anything like that while wearing them for long periods of time. So The reflective nature of these IEMs will be attractive to many fingerprints, but hey, it's the life we live, right? Maybe they could have thrown like a little tiny microfiber in with it or something. That would have been nice. I will say though, I'm not here to expect everything from a sub $100 IEM, but boy am I impressed by the part that matters, the sound. Thanks for watching and making it all the way through. If you enjoyed the video and are interested in more tech content like this, please hit the subscribe button. I also have links available down in the description if you want to grab a pair of these IEMs. I appreciate you all, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.